The four pieces I decided to read for this project were Brave New World, The Pedestrian, Acquainted with the Night, and For That He Looked Not Upon Her. Between these four pieces, various themes revolving around technology, progress, love, alienation, and confinement can be seen. All works also have a prevalent outcast, whether it be physically, mentally, or a combination of the two, that is used to emphasize or further explain a main idea of the piece. In Brave New World, Aldous Huxley demonstrates a struggle with conformity in an all-powerful government. There are two main outcasts in this novel, Bernard and John. While Bernard is rejected by society because he is physically smaller than his peers, John is rejected because he has major contrasting beliefs and perspectives than those in the New World. However, John does also have an aspect of physical alienation when he is rejected on the Indian reservation because he has a lighter skin color. Throughout the novel, Huxley successfully warns against the takeover of technology and progression as it can impair individual thoughts and happiness. In The Pedestrian, Ray Bradbury portrays a lonely man who walks the streets each night. Although this is a common pastime in our society, he seems to be the only person in his society to do so. Throughout the short story, Bradbury uses imagery and antithesis to convey dark versus light, or the society versus the pedestrian. This analogy, along with Mr. Mead being sent to a mental institution, provide evidence of Mead being an outcast in his society. This piece can also be seen as a skeptic of progression and technology, similar to Brave New World. In Robert Frost's poem, Acquainted with the Night, themes of isolation and dissatisfaction are proposed. The character who walks at night is portrayed as lonely and distant. He does not come into contact with others, but he does observe a few. Additionally, he is walking at night, when everybody else is inside, through the empty streets that were filled just hours before. These qualities, along with dark imagery of the night, rain, and an empty city, are support for the character being an outcast and the idea of alienation. This poem is also connected to The Pedestrian through lonely men walking the streets at night, which exposes societal rejection. In For That He Looked Not Upon Her, George Gascony demonstrates thematic ideas of loneliness, heartbreak, and love. The author can be seen as an outcast, for he has been rejected by the woman he is in love with. Through metaphors, he compares himself to a scorched fly and a trapped mouse. These express the pain he has experienced in love and why he can no longer bear to look her in the eye. This poem can be compared to Acquainted with the Night, in that both characters are in some way ashamed and dissatisfied with their life, proposing themes of isolation.